They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now, the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules.
It forces us to be well behaved.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it. And anyway, we don't have a choice.
But in an effort to keep all of its subjects in line, Beijing is taking the system a step further in 2020. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies, and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen.
By using the most data possible, the so-called big data, the system will play an important role in rebuilding a moral society.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media. Criticizing the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no. On the other hand, praising the party or giving blood increases your social credit. Xiao Wenwang is a model citizen. She lives in Nanjing, a testing ground for social ranking. Married with a child, she has a job in a retirement home, no debts, and she wouldn't dream of jaywalking.
As a good citizen, I respect the rules of the road. If I didn't, I'd lose points on my social credit.
In theory, everything can be taken into account in the social score, even the most innocuous errands like supermarket shopping. When Xiao Wenwang makes an electronic payment, her purchases tell the state a lot about her. Buying cigarettes would count against her. On the other hand, nappies show she's an attentive mother. Beer could indicate alcoholism. She'd be better off buying water. In this pilot city of 8 million people, there are only 18,000 model citizens. For Xiao Wenwang, there are perks to be had, such as paying half price for the bus.
I get discounts for all public services, even at museums. And the library is free for me, thanks to my score.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to zero. On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist Liu Hu. He got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members. After being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. But he only realized when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from traveling.
That tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
Once you're blacklisted, you can no longer get a bank loan, start a business, buy an apartment, or even send your children to a private school.
Liu Hu is among a tiny minority of people who have dared to criticize the system, which some are calling a digital dictatorship.
I worry, because I think many people like me will be deprived of individual freedoms, and all of us will live with restrictions of one kind or another.
After our meeting, Liu Hu learned that his name had been removed from the blacklist, but he still has a long way to go if he doesn't want to languish at the bottom of the social...
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha, Quadash. Double honors to head apostle, and others a great millstone, who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessing to you, sincere Akim, that are pushing this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in and week out, in our truth and sincerity. And the video clip you saw was a video clip from 2020. You know, I believe it was a French news post concerning China and the social credit score The title of the video: China ranks good and bad citizens with social credit system. And this is a video from 2020. And you saw how they were speaking about, which I'm gonna go back to a couple points in the video as well. How the citizens were basically tagged, by the various different facial recognition systems, camera systems they have in the city, like you see on the screen. And their movements are tracked, the things that they buy, where they shop, the things that they eat, etc., are all taken into account to form a social credit score. And they also can receive benefits for having a good score, and also disadvantages for having a low score. As you heard the guy that was going into, basically you can be blacklisted. He was going against the leaders, which he was calling them corrupt leaders, and he was trying to bring out information on these so-called corrupt leaders over there in China, and he got blacklisted. Okay, and I say that to say this, that the whole social credit score, the various things you see on this video is all going to be incorporated with the M.O.T.B. Now, before I go any further, I want to get the definition on social credit score. All right, this is social credit score. A social credit score is a rating system that assesses a person's behavior and trustworthiness and assigns them a score. Okay, so it's kind of like a credit score, but it's like a credit score for you concerning your whole life. The things you buy, the things you do, you could even say down to how you even think. It says the score can be used to determine rewards and punishments. Read that again. The score can be used to determine rewards and punishments, such as perks and restrictions. And this whole social credit score, as well as universal basic income, are all going to be incorporated with that CHIP. Okay, that the M.O.T.B, which is the micro CHIP. It says China's social credit system launched in 2009. So China's been using this social credit score for quite some time now. All right, they've been doing it for a while. It says it's one example of a social credit score system. The Chinese government and People's Bank of China collect data on individuals and businesses from a variety of sources, including online credit platforms, financial records, and government records. This data is then analyzed to determine a social credit score for each person, business, and government entity. And ultimately these various different social credit scores are analyzed by AI, artificial intelligence. It says a person's score, Salakia, bear with me. It says a person's score can increase based on actions that are considered socially desirable, like paying taxes or buying Chinese products. It can decrease if they engage in behaviors that the government deems problematic or dishonest. Okay, key word, what the government deems. So, if they deem something that you're doing, which could be right or wrong, all right, but in their eyes is against what they want to see fit for society, all right, they reprimand these individuals that live in China. Okay, it says such as making negative statements about the government or committing crimes. All right, and when they push this micro CHIP on a high level, it's gonna be very similar, to what you saw in this video clip concerning the tracking, the facial recognitions, everything being incorporated with the satellites, them basically the government or the powers that be knowing anything and everything that you do, so to speak, man. Okay, so it's gonna be, very, very similar and even more complex. Okay, it says It says it can decrease in the engage in behaviors. It's like it can decrease if they engage in behaviors that the government deems problematic or dishonest, such as making negative statements about the government or committing crimes. All right. And you can just imagine if this social credit score was going on in America, what would be deemed problematic, okay, according to the government. You speaking about the small hats, you speaking in a certain light, in a certain manner concerning the presidential election campaign, all right? These people that go out to these different protests, all right, and various other matters, that go on in the day and age that we live in. It says, it says, such as making negative statements about the government or committing crimes. The system also monitors everyday behavior, all right? Says the system monitors everyday behavior. So everything you do throughout the day is constantly monitoring you. It says, including how a person spends their money, what they say on social media, and who they associate with. Okay. So this goes as far as, tapping into your phone, your social media accounts, basically everything that you use. This social credit score is constantly analyzing on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour, week-to-week basis. It says people with good social credit scores are considered trustworthy and may receive perks like tax breaks, cheaper public transportation fares, work promotions, and waived rent deposits. Those with lower scores may face restrictions such as being prevented from entering universities, having their travel restricted, or even having their dog taken away. So when when the M.O.T.B, the charagma is pushed on a high level, this is the type of technology that is going to be used, incorporated with the micro C-hip. They're going to be able to basically turn that device completely off, and you're going to cease to exist to society if you start speaking about things that are against the government, or you go against the order or the things that they have laid out. But furthermore, they're going to have more capabilities and technology at their fingertips than that. All right. Now let's go to we all know this scripture by heart, but let's go ahead and bring this out real quick. Because this is all part of this devil's new world order system, plans and agenda, which we're going to go into that new world order, concerning what it actually is here in a moment. Let's go to Revelation, the 13th chapter. Let's go down to the 16th verse. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So this is basically going to be forced upon the people in two different ways. It's going to be forced upon the people by the only way you'll be able to be, involved and to participate in society is if you have one of these. All right. If you have that device, all right, that's in your hand, whether it's wired to your brain, whether you got it in your foot, okay, the location on your body, is it is really don't matter where you take it on your body. It's the fact that you have taken it. Okay. So they're going to be able to control you just off the strength of you having this and having to use this electronic device for your buying, for your spending, for your ID. Okay. Your different what's the word I'm looking for? Your different transactions. Okay. To pay a bill, for you to even on a database be considered, a person in society and being able to, participate in society, you're gonna have to have that micro C-hip. All right. And at first, it's gonna come as on a persuasion level. You know, they're gonna make it hip. They're gonna use Hollywood. You know, they're gonna make it a trend. They're gonna make it cool. All right, they're gonna have all different types of incentives and benefits and different perks for those who receive it willingly. Okay, the majority of the people are gonna receive it willingly. All right. It says, and he causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the charagma or the name of the beast or the number of his name. You know, so just not being able to purchase anything, you know, not being able to have a job, you know, not being able to take care of your family and pay your bills, this, that, and so forth, you know, that participation, you know, people are going to take it off the strength of that, you know. So that's the first way, you know, that Esau is going to, you know, force, in a way, you know, these people to get that micro C hip, all right? And the second way he's going to force it is along down the line, you know, after, you know, you have the majority of these people receive that electronic device, he's going to make it mandatory. It's going to come to a point where, you know, if you don't have it, you know, because you're going to have a number of people, even outside of this truth, okay, that stand firm and do not take it, okay, you know, and, you know, Esau is going to give a decree out, you know, to these different militaries, you know, these different agencies and these troops that patrol these cities to basically detain all those who are not willing to receive that micro C hip, you know. And I see basically him also pushing a vibration through the people, you know, to turn in anybody you know that's a friend, your family, okay, or acquaintance that is uh, against the government, okay, and part of that uh, underlying of being against the government is going to be those who are against the micro C hip, okay. It says, verse 18, it says, here is, it says, here is the wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score 6. All right. You know, so this is, you know, when they really implement this electronic device and they have the majority of the earth receive it, it's going to further this devil's control. All right. You know, this is the technology like you saw in the video clip that they have without even the micro C hip being involved in the equation. Just imagine the capabilities, imagine the technology at their fingertips, the control, okay, the oversight, all right, the analysts that is going to be capable when they put this into the equation with all this various different technology that they have, man. Okay, and ultimately this is all part of well, I'm gonna say this, the M.O.T.B is the main part of these wicked elites new world order goals and programs. Okay, let's get you know, because you see various different things happen in different countries that you don't see in other countries, and you know, basically what Esau does a lot of times, he'll use certain countries to test certain programs, to test certain agendas before he incorporates it, you know, ultimately, hopefully, to the whole earth. All right. Let's get let's go into what this new world order is. All right. Let's see here. Here we go. Here we go. All right. This is just from Wikipedia. It says New World Order quotation politics. It says the term New World Order refers to a new period of history evidencing dramatic change in the world political thought and the balance of power in international relations. Despite varied interpretations of this term, it is commonly associated with the notion of world governance. You know, and that's what Esau's goal is, to basically gather all these nations as one and be all, you know, under him, okay? And not have these separate nations, you know, have their own government, their own beliefs, you know, their own military, this, that, and so forth. Esau wants to bring all of them together, and anyone that opposes that New World Order, he's going to seek to take them down. It says, the phrase New World Order or similar language was used in the period toward the end of the First World War in relation to the Woodrow Wilson vision for the international peace. Wilson called for a League of Nations to prevent aggression and conflict. In some instances, when Franklin D. Roosevelt used the phrase New World Order and New Order in the world, okay? And this is not the first time, you know, you've had a particular nation or ruler try to push a New World Order, okay? In the times of, you know, you know, Nimrod, man, okay? The Tower of Babel, that was a New World Order agenda, a New World Order program to bring all nations together as one, okay? And the Most High Yahweh dismantled that, okay? It says it was to refer to Axis powers' plans for the world domination. It says, although Roosevelt and Harry S. Truman may have been hesitant to use the phrase, commentators have applied the term retroactively to the order put into place by the World War II victors, including the United Nations and the Bretton Woods system, as a New World Order. You know, because just like the scripture says, this devil can never be satisfied. All right, and this is his attempt to satisfy himself. But every time he reaches that level where he thinks he's going to be satisfied, guess what? You know, he comes to the realization that, you know, this ain't it. You know, I want more and more and more and more. All right. And just like the scripture says, matter of fact, let's get that real quick. You know, because he's going to get pretty deep into his New World Order goals in his checklist. But he ain't going to get those last couple check boxes checked off. Let's go to his Job, Job 20, real quick. Let's go to Job 20, and I think it's in verse 23. You know, because there's a lot about the charagma that Esau is not telling the people. Of course, he tells you the benefits, how you'll be, you know, almost like a godlike status. You don't have to, you know, you won't have to read no more. You won't have to learn, so to speak. Everything will just be downloaded directly to your brain. Everything will be quicker. You can scan in, scan out. You know, it'll be such a convenience for you, this, that, and so forth. But he's not telling you on the under end of that supercomputer with the capabilities that he has, that he's going to be able to control your mind. He's going to be able to control your thoughts. He's going to be able to put false memories into your mind. All right? Ultimately, you're going to be, these people are going to be furthered more into a robotic status, okay? Because the majority of these people are already robots, all right? But Esau wants to take it to the next level. It says, this is Job 20 and verse 23. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. All right, so this devil is going to try to complete his New World Order, but the Most High is not going to let him get those last couple check boxes off, man. Okay? There's one more scripture I want to get, one more precept I want to get concerning that. Let's see, bear with me one moment. Yeah. This is Job. Let's go to back in the book of Job. Let's go back a couple chapters. Let's go to Job chapter 5. And let's go down to verse 12. It says, let's see. Come on. This is Job 5 and 12. It says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Okay? You know, so at the end of the day, the Most High Yahweh is going to disrupt their New World Order program. Verse 13, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in daytime, and grope in the noonday as in the night. Okay, so you got these wicked elites that have these different secret councils, and you best believe every council that they have, especially these major meetings, that micro C-hip, the M.O.T.B, is a hot topic in their conversations. Okay, and right now they're forming different measures and plans of persuading the masses, to take it willingly. And, they can do it in various different ways, which I believe they're going to, push a false crisis to happen, uh, and use that to heavily persuade the masses into receiving it. On top of that, you're going to have Hollywood, these various different podcasters, media, these church pastors, even some of these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that know they're Israelites as well, man. All right, you're gonna have some of these Israelites in these various different camps that persuade you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to take the micro C hit, which they're already doing that, man. They're already telling you that it's sin, that it's sleeping with white women, that it's an embargo, that it's sin in all its forms, whether, religion or political, okay? It's transactions and various other things, man. So they're already persuading you to take it, because if they tell you all these different things and they tell you that it's not a sin, they tell you that it's not the M.O.T.B, okay, then these people in their congregation, they come to them and say, well, I'm going to take it, Hey, what are they going to say back, okay? Because as of right now, because, they very well could change their stance, but as of right now, you got a lot of these various different camps, especially the main camp that comes to my mind is, the IUIC. I really see, when the micro C-hip comes on the scene, I really see that they very well could, tell their congregation to go get it, man. Hey, this is how you gotta survive, right? Hey, if they want to keep, if the leadership of that particular organization wants to keep its seat, wants to keep its place, all right, with the Romans, that's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to persuade their people to take it. Esau ain't gonna, keep up his end of the contract, that which I believe that they entered into. I believe they took that bag, But on the other hand, they very well could come up out of that madness and start teaching, what the M.O.T.B is according to the scriptures, which is the micro C-hip, man. All right. Now let's go to let's get the judgment real quick of Revelation, the 13th chapter and the 16th verse on down. Let's go to Revelation, the 14th chapter. Okay. And universal basic income will be I believe will be right in there in the midst of all this. Okay. You're gonna have people. They're gonna set it up where people can sit at their houses and chill all day and don't really have to have a job per se, if they choose not to, as long as they have that CHIP, that they're gonna receive a certain amount of income. Man, you heard what these people said on the benefits they get for keeping a high social credit score. All right. Well, Esau is gonna have benefits for those who receive their micro C-hip. Let's go to Revelation, the 14th chapter, and let's go down to the 9th verse. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, or receive his charagma in his forehead or in his hands, or, wherever you take it on your body, whether you take it on your forehead, your arm, your elbow, okay? It says, and receive his charagma in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. All right, so any of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that received that charagma, that micro C hit, which is the M.O.T.B, you know, there's no coming back from that. There's no repenting from that. You know, your judgment is already set. There ain't no taking it and taking it out. Ain't no having no change of heart. It says, Revelation 14 and 9 again, it's verse 10. It says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. All right, righteous anger. It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. That's right, you're going to have a missile with your name on it, and you're going to be burned up in the presence of Yahweh and the angels, man. Okay? Lord willing, that was edifying. I'll leave the link in the description box to the articles that I went into, as well as the video. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachaha Kwadash. Double honors to the head apostle, and that is a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessing to you, sincere Akim, that are pushing this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in, week out, in all truth and sincerity. Till next time, Shalom.